I'm here with the lovely Gail Kim. Gail, welcome.
Hello. Hi, thanks for having me.
What do you think about your experience so far here at WrestleCon, meeting all your fans?
This is actually my very first WrestleCon, which is, I'm shocked at that myself. I was supposed to do one a couple of years ago, and unfortunately I got pulled. So I'm so glad I got to do it this year because everyone says this is the biggest one so far. I'm really excited because I'm not too far from home, and I get to see my friends. And it's just so nice because all of us wrestlers, even if we haven't seen each other for years, it's like no time has passed. So it's really nice, yeah.
Well, I was just talking to Christy about, this whole women's revolution that we've been seeing on TV. And to me, you were a forerunner to that in WWE. And then, of course, you and Kong and all the matches you had in TNA. What do you think about this explosion in women's wrestling in the last few years?
It's weird because everyone's using the term revolution. And I'm like, well, when did that really begin? People are always saying, how did it begin? Because there was wrestling way back. Of course, Fabulous Moolah and Sherry Martel. And then it kind of like started and stopped. And, I recently just said I felt like Impact Wrestling started it because ever since we started the women's division there, because women's wrestling was kind of dead at that time, that's when it started going. And we never really stopped from there. And I'm so happy. I think some people think I'm hating or shade, whatever it is. What are you throwing shade, right? And I said, no, I'm not, because I'm actually ecstatic for the girls in WWE that are doing it now, because I know how it feels to have that passion and you're not able to do what you want to do. And so for them, I'm over the moon for them. I hope that it keeps on going and never stops.
Is there any female performer on television now, regardless of promotion, that you look at and you say, I'm a big fan of hers. I like her work.
Yeah, like I love Charlotte, Sasha, and Bailey. Like if you're talking about not within my own company, those three are probably the top three for me. If I was going to have, my last few matches, I would probably choose them if I could, but I'm not in the right company.
I was going to say, where do you see yourself ending up? It's impossible to say for sure. Yeah. Looking ahead, where do you see yourself going in the future?
Hey, listen, I guess you can say never, but honestly, TNA Impact Wrestling has always been my home. I'm a very loyal person. But wrestling, there's not too many places to go. But I will say Impact has always just been very close to my heart, and they've always treated me really well, and I've always felt like I could be myself there. And so why would I leave a happy environment,
Let me just ask you about your feud with Kong, because I really do think that put the women's wrestling back on the map in a big way. When you're working those matches with her, do you know at that time that you guys have something special going on?
No, not at all. You kind of get feedback from the office and know that they're really ecstatic about it. But I was just so happy to be doing what I loved, and that we had this women's division, we had this new women's title. For us, we were just all happy to be doing what we love, like I said. And the fact that it was just magical chemistry between us was, just the cherry on top. And to this day, I love that girl. We have such a mutual respect for one another, and I always joked with her because I'm like, yeah, because you took years off my career with all the physicality. And we'd always laugh about that. But you know what? I would never take back 1 second of it, ever.
Let me ask you this one last question here. Impact Wrestling, they've rebranded, they're under new ownership. Going forward in the future, what would you like to see Impact do to really kind of get to that next level? Do you want to go back on the road and do live events? What would you like to see?
I would love to see us get back on the road and, hit major cities like the big wrestling towns, New York. Again, New York was amazing. Chicago, parts of Texas, everywhere. And also, we're just in a kind of rebuilding stage right now, and everybody kind of goes through that. And I honestly, just watching from the outside right now because I'm injured, it's interesting to see all the really strong talent that's coming up. And, it's funny because wrestling fans can be the most critical. So I always tell them, just be patient because we're in that rebuilding stage. And the girls right now, they have so much potential. There's already girls who are very polished. But then once you see these other girls flourish and become where they're supposed to be, I think they'll be impressed. Yeah.
See you back real soon?
Yes, very soon.
Gail, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.